Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 6, Season 12, Episode 2. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so a little bit out of order. Kenya first. Let's just, I sure hate to say this, with us just starting out the season when she returns and she's got a husband and a baby, and we want to keep it all positive. I'm happy to see Kenya and everything, but I think her husband is a bit of an asshole. I was just like, maybe this is the reason why she tried to keep his ass off of the show when she was there, because he's not, okay, maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions, but he seems to be the sarcastic type. And, that works well with some people, and then other people, it doesn't. But it seems like because he's just now starting on this show, that he would tone it down a little bit. And the fact that he isn't, that leads me to believe that that's truly who he is. And he just seems a little bit of a jerk. Or sarcastic, I should say. More so just sarcastic, and one of those people that when you get introduced to him, they be like, he's real nice. He's just, you just got to know him. So I was just like, because, we see her. Let me get my neat notes, y'all. I'm on my iPad because I didn't feel like printing out my notes. And now my iPad want to keep closing. She's at home with the baby, right? And of course, he's in New York because that's where his business is. And so she calls him FaceTime. And the things that he says, I was just like, and every time that they was cut to the part where she would just have her little one-on-one, she was always just sort of like, Mark doesn't realize the things that he says is hurtful, Evidently, when she first had the baby, he was just kind of like, oh, you don't know what you're doing because you just, this is your first child. I already have kids, so I already know what I'm doing. So, that already, when she told us that, I was just sort of like, okay. First of all, most new mothers, nobody knows what they're doing. It definitely is a learning curve, and nobody wants to hear that shit. And you definitely don't need to hear from no man, because 9 times out of 10, the mamas, whoever his baby mamas is, they was the ones that was doing all the fucking work. Okay, so I was just like, okay, so that already, when she told me that, I was just like, girl, that's your man though, right? She said that it was difficult learning how, what battles to pick with him. I said, girl, if it's hard already, that's some shit that I believe most of us are still learning how to do. 10, 15, 20 years later, But she's talking to him, and he says, how was swimming lessons? The baby's in swimming lessons. She said, oh, she's did great. You know what? She's more talented. She's better than any other child in the class. Now, most parents would say that about their baby, right? Especially if you're proud of them. He gonna say, oh, so you competing with children again? And granted, I believe that he probably was just playing around when he said that. But again, you're on this show, seems like you would tone that type of tone down a little bit until we get to know who you are and understand that you might just be playing around. But yeah, he rubbed me the wrong way, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but me, I was just like, Mark might not make this easy for me to like him. Now let's talk about this conversation that Cynthia had with her daughter Noelle in the car. So somebody inboxed or commented to me the other day that Noelle flunked out of college and moved to Los Angeles and is staying with #chill out that way. And what did I think about it? I don't think anything about it. I mean, if that's what they have set up, then that's what they set up. I mean, college is not for everybody. It is definitely difficult when you go away to school. I don't know if she flunked out of school or if she just decided that wasn't for her. It could be a number of reasons why she's not there anymore. So that's not for me to comment on. But something tells me that Noelle is really trying to find herself, and she's been in this mode for some years now, And, it's fine because at this age, 19, 20, 21, them's the only years really that you should be trying to figure out what you are. By the time you get to the mid-20s, it's, and you get to them late 20s and get to them 30s, playtime is over. So this is definitely the time when she would do something like that. But I just really thought it was interesting, the conversation she had. Now, she's always been very open with her mom. And her mom has always been very open with her. She did bring up how Cynthia seems to be, kind of so head over heels and gaga for #chill when it didn't seem that way with Peter. She reminded us of when she asked Cynthia, did she have low self-esteem, because ain't no way that she would be putting up with the shit that Cynthia puts up with from Peter. Okay. And now that she sees how Cynthia is with #chill, now she realizes that there was a definite difference in the feelings here, and that just kind of reinforced that she's never gonna put up with no bullshit from no nigga in the future. I said, girl, keep on living. But she was talking to her. So Cynthia says, well, have you met anybody? I'm sure they had this conversation beforehand, but we do it again for the cameras. Her daughter said, yeah, well, you know what? While she was away at school, she actually met a few girls that she was interested in romantically. I said, what's this? Okay, like I said, I really feel like she's trying to find herself, because we have heard so many different things with her. And now she is on her whole sexual fluidity. You guys know, she doesn't consider herself bisexual. She just likes who she likes. And Cynthia says, yeah, that's fine. She just wants her to be happy. She wants her to meet an amazing man or an amazing woman. As long as they treat her well and keep her happy, then that's fine enough for Cynthia and her dad. So, Cynthia doesn't give her a hard time about it. It's just interesting because Noelle has always been one of those kids that, I don't know, she's just different than like Candy's kids. She's just different than the rest of the kids that have been on the show for whatever reason. So she says that she's not dating anyone right now, male or female, but I guess she just wanted to give her mom a heads up just in case she show up at the house with Sandra. She'll know what's going on. Kenya and Cynthia meet up at, I'm telling you, I was just looking at this whole little scene with Cynthia and Kenya, and I was just like, we'd have done better just being in somebody's fucking kitchen. They go to some spiritual, I don't even know what kind of place it was. I thought that was Music Soul Child in there that worked. He looked like that comedian that does like the singing like for the Christmas time, and it'd be like 5 of them, and he'd be singing all the different versions, and they put it all together in the video. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He reminded me of him. First of all, why was he smirking and laughing the whole entire time? He couldn't keep his face straight or nothing. I was just like, they gonna need somebody to teach this boy how to act like he got some damn sense. Cynthia and Kenya go into this place because I guess they need to get them some oils or whatever. Or what did he say? It was dragon's blood? Now, where exactly do we get that from? Some of my, my rock stars out there that's into this kind of thing, please tell me what exactly that place was. Okay, because you know me. I was just like... Anyway, to cast away some spirits, I guess, Kenya says that she needs to cleanse the energy around her the same way that Eva felt like she needed to have cleansed energy around her when she was around Kenya. Now, this whole argument or this whole disagreement, I don't even know what it is, because Kenya and Eva have not confronted each other yet. So as of now, it's just sort of she say. But, Eva not wanting to bring her kids to Kenya's Kenya's coming out party for little Brooklyn. I would have been offended if I heard somebody tell me that somebody said that something, about me, but it wouldn't be blown up into this proportion. It's obvious that Kenya is using this so that we can have something that she can stand on and fight about this season. Okay. Because otherwise it would just be like, bitch, fuck you. I just won't even be around you. But she can't do that on this show. She has to be able to tape and provide entertainment. So instead, she's so upset about her saying that, her energy is bad and she don't want to bring her kids around her. Okay. So she tells Cynthia she gonna return the gift that she got her and she don't want nothing to do with it. Cynthia was just like, first of all, Porsha's the one that told you. I would take what Porsha said with a grain of salt. But Porsha really didn't say nothing that Eva didn't say. She didn't put 20 on 10 or nothing. She just told her what she said. And yes, it didn't have to be said. But you know what? Like I said, we got to provide some entertainment, right? So, let's get this show on the road. Eva said it. And you obviously know by now that whatever you say to these girls, it will make it back to the other person. So if you said it to them, then you better be prepared to defend it or whatever it is that you need to do. That little scene we could have done without, but at least we now know that Kenya and Eva, they are definitely the bona fide, we don't like each other, the first of many of this season, I'm sure, between the two girls. Now, speaking of Eva, we see Eva and she's getting ready for work. You guys know that she's been covering for Porsha at the Dish, what is it called? Dish Nation? Yeah, while Porsha's been gone on maternity leave. And I guess it was an extended maternity leave. And now she's having some personal issues with her fiance or ex-fiance or whatever you want to call it. So Eva's been working longer than I think she expected. And now she's pregnant and she's just over it and ready to be done. Whatever. So she's at the place getting her makeup done. Cynthia calls her. And this actually happened before we saw Cynthia go with Kenya, but I'm doing it out of order. But Cynthia calls her, and yeah, I think Cynthia is just a little bit of messy. It's nothing that we can say is definite mess, but it's the beginnings of some mess here because Cynthia, first she calls her, hey girl, you look so cute at Kenya's party the other day. I think you had the best costume. Okay, yeah, you at a damn child's party and you ain't brought no fucking kids. You here all dressed up and completely missed the point of the party. Eva's like, oh, thank you. Girl, what you doing? Oh, I'm just here getting my makeup done. I'm supposed to be covering for Porsha until she come back, but she got all this shit going on in her life. So it's been a little bit longer, but it's time for her to come on and bring it on back. Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of Porsha, girl, you was the talk of the party after you left. And Eva was just like, girl, please, I'm not even studying them old nappy heads this year. And I was just like, did she really say that? Oh my God. I said, girl, now nappy heads is still a very tender subject amongst Black women. Okay, so when she said that on top of the shit that she got last season for what she said about Shamia, and now she, I was like, girl, first of all, you can't tell me that you didn't know what you was doing when you said that. All right, you want the smoke. Eva gonna get it this season. Cynthia's all laughing. Girl, no, all you need to do is give him one of those good Tokyo reads. When she went off on Marlo. Now, I will say that is definitely gonna go down as a classic. But I guess coming off of the, all of the shit that happened last season, Eva is definitely feeling herself. And she's not afraid to give it. She gonna live up to her name, Eva the Diva, right? But she just don't realize that we got quite a bit of divas on this show. And honey, depending on how you corner them bitches will come for you too. And you know why I say that Eva wants to smoke and she gonna get it? So Eva, Cynthia, and Candy. Cynthia is at this bridal salon, and I'm just like, I know we're not looking at gowns and this bitch ain't even engaged yet. But no, she's actually there because one side has bridal gowns and the other side just has really fantastic, fantabulous stuff. So she has Candy meet her there. And later on, Eva, she's going to Carnival, I believe it is. They're going to Carnival and she wants to look her best. Okay, now that she gonna be seeing Nene. I said, all right, look at the pup still trying to please her master. So when Eva gets there, and Cynthia was just like, that's her best good girlfriend. They besties. Candy was just like, when did they become besties? Did I miss something? Yeah, you missed the fact that Nene ain't around to suck the life out of Cynthia any longer. So now she done latched on to Eva. So they're sitting there talking and, Candy was just like, why wasn't you with us when we went to lunch the other day? And Eva was like, I didn't know nothing about it. Oh, your best friend didn't tell you about it? They sat down with Porsha. And Eva was just like, oh, okay, because I didn't really understand how it came about that, you guys decided to tell her at Kenya's party the other day. And Cynthia was just like, well, I just was with Kenya. And she's, she was just feeling a little bit offended by you not wanting to bring your children. And Eva was just like, and what is the problem with that? I don't know Kenya. I don't even really know her real eye color. I hate when people say that. Those are the color of her eyes. She has had them same eye colors all of the time that we have known of Kenya Moore, you know? But people love to take that dig at her. Whatever. If you don't know her, then why the fuck are you at her party? It is a party for her child. She clearly said for everybody to bring their children. If you weren't going to bring your child to the party for the children, then damn it, why do you come? We don't want to see you. So that part where she was just like, I don't know her. I didn't never know her. And I said it then, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it in the future. Well, stay your motherfucking ass at home then. It's not like you a girlfriend of hers and you don't have kids. Then that's when your homegirls show up for the party or whatever. But you got kids. You got a daughter. You know, you come to the party. If you're not going to bring the daughter, then stay your ass at home. Yet still, it is not that big of a deal. I don't really know what was going on with Eva, but she was very, very rude. You know, Candy was just like, well, she was offended because of the way it was brought to her. Okay? Yeah, because Porsha, you know, Eva said, look, I done tiptoed around her little feelings all this time, but she needs to stay out of my business. Her C-section haven't even healed up, and yet she's still worrying about my child. I said, girl, you just really batting 1,000 a day. And while she was going off, you know, Cynthia was just like, calm down, bun. Because, you know, she had her big old, you know, Mother Earth bun on the top of her head. Calm down. But the whole time that she was going off, Candy was just like... Candy was like, look, she has been around long enough to know that the shit that you saying, you all big and bad right now, it is going to come back to bite that ass, okay? And Candy been wrapped up in enough shit. She is not really trying to go there, especially when it comes to this shit with Porsha. So she just going to keep her mouth shut. But she was looking at her, at Eva like, girl, you sure you want to go off on these people like that? When she said, did I ask her where her husband was? I said, ooh. I know Kenya was at that house writing that shit down like... But, you know, it was just sort of like she had it on her. It was like it was on her mind. Like she had been thinking about this. This is something that she had been bothered about for a long ass time when it came to Porsha. Because why are you mad at Porsha? I mean, yeah, I guess it is a little bit messy that Porsha, you know, told Kenya what was said. But Kenya was going to find out anyway. We on a TV show. She going to see it, you know. It was gonna happen sooner or later. We just got the show on the road. So yes, I will admit that Porsha could have kept that shit to herself. But Eva done took it to a whole nother level. Like I said, honey, she want that smoke. She gonna get it. All right, you guys, and then we see Candy. She's meeting Marlo at like a Monkey Joe's or something like that. You know, one of the adult size jungle gyms that they have, the trampolines and all of that. She is meeting her there. You know, Candy has little Ace, and Marlo actually shows up with a niece, a nephew, and like a friend of hers little kid. All right, and she tells Candy that she don't just have them today, she has them, period. What happened? Marlo has a sister who, I'm assuming it's her sister. She didn't say her sister. She just said the kid's mother. Her nephew, I believe, called her and said, you know, can you come and get us? Because they're taking my mom away. And turns out the mom has mental issues, schizophrenia, bipolarism. So, you know, Marlo just had to do what she had to do and get her niece and nephew, which I had been seeing on her Instagram that she did have the kids. She was starting to have them more and more. I didn't realize that she just has them permanently now, but that seems to be what it is. You know, it's interesting. We don't know really much about Marlo's life, but we get little tidbits and splices of it here and there. Something tells me that Marlo had a hard fucking life growing up. I think the grandmother raised her, and but you know, we've heard about her mom not being around and all that. So y'all, I was just like, they gonna really try to make me feel a real soft spot in my heart for old Marlo. And then when she was telling Candy what was going on, and you know, her voice started to get shaky, and she was just like, I don't have all of the answers. You know, Candy was just like, it's definitely gonna take some time for you to get adjusted to taking care of somebody else's children. That is never easy. So Marlo has her hands full. But we move on from that. They start talking about Nene. I wasn't sure exactly how everything was gonna go with Nene because of what happened last year, but then she sent me a text message and I said, okay, she must want to move forward. And really, to me, Nene didn't need to be that mad at Candy. She didn't really need to be that mad at anybody. Marlo says that, she just tries to be friends with everybody, and Candy was just like, well, everybody needs to get to know the real you, instead of you just being around to protect Nene all the time. First of all, we know Nene don't need nobody to talk for her. And Marlo said, well, what you guys don't know is I get her together, but I just don't do it in front of everybody else. Marlo says that Nene is in a better place now. So hopefully once she's come back around everybody, everybody will get back on track. Now we see Cynthia and Candy. They meeting out. Look like they're about to have lunch or something. We get a little small talking about the baby coming and whatnots. And then we find out the real reason that they're there is that they're going to be meeting with Porsha. I think it was really crazy that Kenya took it upon herself to tell Porsha something that happened that she did not hear firsthand. Candy was just like, I'm really not trying to stop the progress that me and Porsha have made as far as them two trying to be friends. So while they're sitting there waiting on Porsha, she shows up. Hey, give everybody a hug. Look like her and Candy actually genuinely hug each other. So I said, this is good. This is good. We starting off good. They sit down and Porsha was just like, I've been crying every day because it's finally starting to hit me that I'm going to have to leave little PJ. Okay, it's time for her to go back to work. But anyway, little small talk, breastfeeding, having another child, all of that. And then we get down to the nitty gritty. Why y'all didn't tell me about the girl showing up at the restaurant to talk to you about what happened? Well, I know that it looked crazy for this girl to come and she was at the OLG. I didn't even know who she was because, to be honest, I was out of town, so I didn't even know what the blogs had said. So you didn't even know? You had to find out from the blogs, huh? Cynthia was just like, well, is it that bad that you feel like you can't work it out? Candy was just like, I don't want to be rude or nothing, but is it just a cheating? Because most people can get past that. I know. People can get past the cheating, but it all depends on how I trust you. We've been arguing. We text back and forth. I've been trying to communicate to him, but now we've been arguing and fighting that way. I'm never going to keep PJ away from having a relationship with her father. So if I have to sacrifice and be uncomfortable in this relationship just so she can be around him, then I will do that. But as far as everything else is concerned, she's just not really sure how this thing is going to fare with her and Dennis. So she even tells him that he not in the house no more. That's when Candy was just like, well, does what they said about him in the blogs, is everything true? Well, I think Porsha has made it clear that he definitely had cheated. So most of it, the main parts of it, is true. Candy was looking at her and she feeling kind of concerned about, she's, girl, are you okay? Because you don't look like yourself. I know, I don't feel like myself. Like, look at me, look at my shoes. She had them old ugly ass Steve Madden, them real thick soled platform sandals. As much as I've seen people wear them, I try to like them. They look very comfortable, but I just think they are horrible sandals. Horrible. Not flattering at all to any leg shape. I guess them days, honey, it was comfort over cuteness. Now, back at Porsha's house, we see Shamia come over. She comes over with her baby. Before we had these babies, we used to talk about all kind of stuff. We would talk about the next wig that we gonna wear, the next trip, the girls' trip that we going on, or where was the next hot hookah spot. Now we just talk about babies and diapers, okay? Now it's all about the kids, the family, honey. If them kids don't change your lives, I know something. So Porsha gives her a cooler, and Shamia's like, girl, I ain't drinking so long. This is probably gonna make me drunk. Okay, and we sit down, and she was just like, so what's been going on, Miss Porsha? Dennis ended up spending the night last night. Shamia was like, what? The baby had an appointment. And we went to the appointment, and then on the way back home, he was like, so do you want me to stop and get you something to drink? And I was like, give me something to drink? So he came back to the house and we was watching TV and we was watching the movie and it was getting later and later and later. And next thing I know, I woke up and he was in my bed. Girl, what was y'all drinking? What was you watching? And how did that next thing I know happen? But anybody that's had problems with a significant other, you know how these things can go. You put yourself in these type of situations, then it can go down. Even when you guys are fighting, even when you can't stand each other. And then they showed a clip when he was leaving, and he kissed the baby and then he kind of hit her on her butt. And she just looked at him sort of like, nigga, we ain't hitting you on the butt, type friends like that. But it seems like like she said, you send mixed signals when you fucking them, but you mad at them. Okay, you done gave him this opening, but then you want to close it back off. Like, you can't keep going back and forth like that. And then they start to not even respect what you want because they think that you full of shit, because you still, all I got to do is, get you liquored up and then I'ma get some. So now I have to really shut the box down. Yes, shut the box down. That should be the least of y'all worries right now. Shamia says, well, do you think that he's ever gonna make the same mistake again? No, I don't think he's gonna make the same mistake again. But he still needs to take responsibility for what he did. So then we see that she is on her way to therapy. She's going to meet Dennis there, and she's on the phone with her sister. Okay, so her sister was just like, so are you ready? Do you know what you want to say? I don't have no idea what I want to say. I have been thinking about it and everything, and I don't know what I'm going to say. But what she do know is that she needs the truth from Dennis, period. He better not place it back on me. It has not been easy at all. I don't know if the truth is going to make me want to say, forget it, I'm done, or slap him in the face, or what? She says when she really thinks about it, she can see them both going down this toxic road. And I guess that what she meant by that is like him spending the night when really they not together and all of that. And she don't want that. She gets to her therapy session and I said, is that Dr. Sherry? Well, Porsha. We just saw her go in the building. And then 35 minutes later, she comes rushing out and she's just like... and she gets in her car and she's just like, I can't do it. I think she got her clear answer in that little 35-minute session. Wasn't what she wanted to hear, obviously. So she rushes home. Her sister comes by. Portia's just very upset. First of all, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. She said when she sat down with Dr. Sherry, she tells her that Dennis had betrayed her trust. And it was not going to work unless he told me everything that he did. So then I look over at him and he got these big-ass tears rolling down his face. So it went bad. And he confessed. And then I mushed his face. And then I just got up and I left. Because I had just heard that my fiance had sex with somebody else while I was pregnant. And so she is heartbroken about that. Sis says that she went through the exact same thing when she was pregnant, so she knows where Portia's coming from. And I think about it all the time, and I look at my daughter and I say, okay, mommy and daddy are gonna work it out, for her, but some things are just unforgivable. I felt so bad for her because you could tell that she was truly hurt. She says that she just plays it over in her mind, like, all the things that they've been through, all of the good times that they have, and all that shit was fake. You was with me all the damn time and you still had time enough to go fuck some other bitch, and I'm carrying your child. She was just like, as much as I loved him, I would have never betrayed him. She loved his dirty draws, and for him to do her this way, she just cannot believe it. She said it was all fake. It was all phony. It all wasn't real. So then her sister was just like, I know, but don't you think that you can work it out? And she was just like, no, first of all, I'm not going to receive that because I watched you go through the same thing and you worked on yourself and you were fine. I'm not going to do that because I don't deserve it. So don't tell her that, she got to take him back because, damn it, if anybody else can do it, raise their child away from their baby's father, then she can do it too. So she ain't fixing to sit up here and listen to her sister tell her that story. I felt so bad for little Porsha, you guys. People were saying that this was all fake, but it don't feel fake to me. I always felt like she really did love him. And I really thought that he did too. So I didn't never think that their relationship was fake. It was too soon. It was too fast, but I never felt like it was fake. Did you? All right, rock stars, let me get off of here, get on back inside. Maury's about to come on. Okay, I'm gonna get this all edited and up for you guys. I want to say happy Veterans Day to all of my rock star veterans out there. Thank you for your service and all that you have sacrificed for the safety of our country. Okay, we appreciate you. Y'all go out there and get all your free foods, honey. And I'm gonna get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.